All right, we are back with another tormenting video where I'm exposed to things I never wanted to see and never want to see again. This is brought to you by ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN.com/Andrew Klavan Show. Right now, you can find out how you can get 3 months free of ExpressVPN, which is the ExpressVPN that I use. All right, today, what they're going to show me are comedians being heckled. Now, this is a little personal for me. My father was a comedian, and we talked, he and I, about how to handle hecklers. And he had a couple of rules that were really interesting, and I'm going to see whether they put these into effect. So let's begin. Let's take a look at the first one.
What do you look for in a woman besides an IUD? What would you say? Too much? Oh, okay. You're not in charge. Yeah. Comedy might not be for you. Does anyone here teach special ed? Anyone else teach special ed? No, I'm kidding. What's your name, the special ed teacher?
Julianne.
Do some of your students have to take the short bus to school?
No.
Lucky for them. The short bus is brutal. I had to take the short... Oh, yep. Sit tight. What, Juliana?
We taxi them in.
You taxi them in. Okay, yeah. Cool. Do you think that helps me set up this next fucking joke? Thank God I got 10 minutes on taxiing in disabled children. May I discuss special ed just one more thing and pay you a giant compliment?
Sorry, we don't call it special ed anymore.
What do you call it in Utopia? What do you call it?
Inclusive education.
Inclusive education. Yeah, that'll stop them from getting bullied. Inclusive. Julianne? Juliana. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's my career hinges on saying that correctly.
My grandmother's name.
That's nice. Say hi to Nana. Oh, got a question. Yes.
My middle name is my other grandmother's name.
Okay. Wow, that is so boring. All right. What's your other grandmother's name?
Anastasia.
Anastasia. Wow, I feel like I have Anastasia.
That's a masterclass.
Good job. Good job. Really good job.
Absolute masterclass on how to do it because he invited them in and they were laughing along with him. And so nobody has any bad feelings about it. Nobody feels like, oh yeah, he put that guy down or those ladies down. That's really good stuff. Brought them into the comedy routine. Took back control of the show. That's the goal.
This couple here, you seem very, yes, you seem very, you were dragged here. I get it. You were dragged a little bit. You're a nurse. Okay. Well, let me ask you, when you signed up to be a nurse, did you understand that at one time people might get sick? Like, I understand as a comedian that when I say things, people can get mad at me even though they're jokes. I understand that. In the same way that you would understand people would get sick. Nobody's ungrateful for what nurses do, but these are jokes. If they were serious, they wouldn't be funny. Do you see what I mean? Like, if I was making serious statements, no one would laugh, but because they are absurd, because they are ridiculous, they are jokes.
This is Tim Dillon using the old clown nose on, clown nose off routine. This is the thing. We should all be able to take a joke. And it's hugely important because if you're not able to take a joke, it means you're taking yourself seriously. And let me guarantee you, I give you my 100% Klavan guarantee, I will sign it. You shouldn't be taking yourself seriously. You're ridiculous. You're an absurd person. Believe me, I know this. How do I know it? Because you are a person. That's how I know. So I know you're absurd and you should be able to laugh at yourself. We should all be able to do that. All right, let's take another one.
When does the comedy start? All right. What's your name, sir? Like shoe rack, you're called Rack. If the show's not for you, it's not for you. Well, I feel bad if you paid all this money to come and see me and you don't think it's funny. You've had a disaster. But I suppose, Rack, you have learned a valuable lesson. You've learned life's not fair. You pays your money, you takes your chance. Sometimes it's a good show, sometimes it's not for you. But I'll give you another example, Rack, so you haven't had a wasted evening. At least you've learned something. Another example of how unfair, Rack, our society is. Let's say if a man, you're right, sir, let's say if a man sleeps with loads and loads of women, what is he? He's a stud, he's a player, he's admired in our society. That isn't an opinion, that's fact. But if a woman sleeps with loads and loads of men, she's called Rack's mum.
See, now I wouldn't have gone there.
I'm sorry. I took it too far.
You can't get angry. If you're a comedian, this is one of the things my father told me. You got to wait until they go too far.
This fantasy scenario.
Go back to ISIS!
There it is.
Because at first, people will have some patience with a heckler. If he shouts something out that's funny, if he teases you a little bit, they'll let him go a little bit. But after like the third time he does it, then the audience starts to turn. They pay to see you pay to see the comedian. That's when you turn on him. But when you turn on him, you can be tough. You can cut him to pieces, but you got to do it with a rapier. That was a little sloppy, I thought, a little angry. So he let that anger come out a little bit. I got to give him a C on that. I think that was a little too tough on Rack. Rack was rude. You can take him apart, but too mean. All right, I'm grading heckler handling. Let me ask you something. What if there was someone out there who kept a log of every single thing you did every minute of the day? That would be pretty creepy. Well, what if I told you that's exactly what happens every time you go online? Your internet provider, like AT&T or Verizon, is allowed to store logs of every website you've ever visited and can legally sell this data to anyone. That's why I always use ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN reroutes your internet connection through their secure servers so your internet provider can't see or log what you do online. Now, many of you might be wondering, well, if I'm routing all my data through a VPN, then doesn't that just mean the VPN can see what I'm doing and log my data instead? And you're right to think that. Many VPNs claim to have a no logs policy, but have been caught logging customer activity. But ExpressVPN is the only VPN I trust because they use trusted server technology that makes it impossible for their VPN servers to store any data, including logs of their customers. ExpressVPN is so confident in their no logs claim, they even had one of the biggest assurance firms, PwC, audit their technology. It's no wonder that CNET and The Verge named ExpressVPN the #1 VPN in the world. Stop letting people keep logs of what you do online. Visit expressvpn.com/Andrew Klavan Show right now and find out how you can get 3 months free. That's expressvpn.com/Andrew Klavan Show. expressvpn.com/Andrew Klavan Show to learn more.
Listen, dude, listen, let me explain something. You and I are in the same business. Our business is to get people to see things the way we see it. The problem is you're in the wrong place because context is very important for your message. For example, if I was going to do my little comedy show that I do, if I went to a Australian rules rugby game and I told this guy, I love this guy. If I said to this guy, you check out, I'm going to do my comedy act here, I would get that same reaction. I would get kicked out on my ass because that's not where I belong.
All right, so that's Jerry Seinfeld dealing with pro-Hamas protesters because Seinfeld is Jewish and has supported Israel, and he decimates them because he knows the audience is on his side. He knows the audience is already booing the Hamas Nazi protesters, and he knows he's got them. And what he's saying to them is absolutely true, which is also brilliant, which he's saying, you're in the wrong place. You're sitting here giving a Jewish guy power by protesting in his venue.
That's gold, Jerry. Gold!
So that was a good job by Seinfeld. Who's the next one?
What do you do in Los Angeles?
Intern.
You're an intern. Okay, so what do you want to be? Why did you point at a different... Don't point at the boss. You're an intern for a reason. You take the bullet for him. Where do you work where they don't give you money? What's that? A clearing firm? All right, what does a clearing firm do? Holy sh... Are you the boss?
I am the boss.
All right. Here you run a clearing firm. What's a clearing firm? Because the kid that you guys hired for no money has no clue what you do. What's that? Stocks. Your boss has Tourette's? Stocks.
He was making fun of the intern, went after the boss, so he's not punching down. Really smart. Once again, I thought it was pretty funny, too. I thought it was funny that when the intern said he had no idea what the company he worked for did. I thought that was a good line as well. I like this. Are there more of these?
I'm celebrating Pride Month. Anybody? What are you guys doing for Pride Month? Sir, what are you doing for Pride Month?
Absolutely nothing.
Homophobe! There's not much you can do if you're not gay, you know? That's the thing.
Be an ally.
What's that?
Be an ally.
Be an ally. How?
And just support them.
How?
Like, just be there.
Beware. I'm working. Where? See, nobody knows. We're all just pretending like we're doing and we're not.
All right. That's Tyler. He just went the whole hog. He's just going right off the, I mean, I think the thing about that is if you're in the, first of all, he's in the Brooklyn Comedy Club, so he's risking his life to begin with, right? Because I don't even think you're allowed to bring comedy into Brooklyn.
Hey, you shut your face. If we want to hear you talk, I will shove my arm up your ass and work your mouth like a puppet.
All right, that was interesting. That was kind of different techniques. I liked some of them. I think Tyler was good. I think obviously Seinfeld was terrific. So we'll give them high marks for handling hecklers. Very, very difficult thing to do. You should never heckle comedians. It's dangerous. They will tear you to pieces, and they should. For more heckling, like and subscribe, and do not forget to subscribe to the Andrew Klavan Show wherever you get your podcasts.